This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studio on Caraba Avenue, and I am Lena E. Igwenyiba. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. The American International University of West Africa held its 8th graduation ceremony on Saturday. The legal platform under the National Population Commission Secretariat commenced a 2-day training program on Friday for law enforcement agencies on reviewing existing laws. The mayor of Banjul, Rahim Malik Lowe, has launched a $50,000 Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund to engage youths in the city to help address growing environmental concerns. Over 200 participants are attending the second Banjul International Surgical and Scientific Conference, which commenced on Friday. In sports news, the Gambia senior football team's newly appointed coach, Jonathan McKinstry, came to QTV for his first live one-on-one interview. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. A reminder that the National Population and Housing Census commenced at midnight, May 31, 2024, and will end on June 14, 2024. The American International University of West Africa held its 8th graduation ceremony on Saturday. The event featured the conferment of degrees undergraduates in several fields of study, marking a crucial milestone in their academic journey. Momodou Lamin Choi covered the ceremony and files this report.
A moment of academic triumph as the graduates file into the hallway at the culmination of an academic journey in higher education. In this procession are 234 graduating students certified to be both worthy of character and knowledge in their respective fields of study. Parents and guardians attend this important occasion in solidarity with the academic success of their family members and loved ones. The Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of the American International University of West Africa, respectively, impart valuable messages of inspiration to the graduating students, reminding them of their duty to serve with dedication and professionalism.
I want to tell you that keep up your spirits, stretch your imaginations, and never forget that Iowa is your institution. Gambia is your country which you can call home anytime. You are always welcome here, no matter where you go.
Maybe if we consider your academic careers, you're starting a new life, mind you, without resources even. Because those in business studies at the CMIT will go out to do their own private business. And it's a start for them. But don't wait for others to start. Make sure that you know what you want, identify your needs, and start, even without the resources.
The American International University has become a notable player in Gambia's higher education sector. So far, the university has graduated more than 1,200 students, among whom 800 are Gambians. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez, is the chief guest of honor at this occasion.
This is the time for you to be active citizens. This is the time for you not to sit at the periphery and watch. This is the time for you to be part of that development. That because this nation called the Gambia will be built, we must reach the mountaintop.
The American International University of West Africa offers a range of degree programs in the art, sciences and humanities, fields of which are relevant to the Gambia's development needs. The university reports that 90% of its graduates gain employment 30 days after graduation. Abdullah Iba, the valedictorian of the graduating class, is one of those who want to make impact in society using the knowledge acquired.
My intention is to engage my people at the lower levels and at the higher levels, come up with initiatives that will integrate the existing systems in the country and globally, and then look forward to a very positive impact, inshallah.
The graduation ceremony ends ushering the graduates on a journey of their lives into a world that is faced with hope as well as trials and tribulations. Having acquired higher education, expectations are high that these graduates will contribute to solving the jigsaw puzzle of development challenges facing the Gambia and the wider world. Mahmoud Lamin Chai, QTV News.
Now, the legal platform under the National Population Commission Secretariat commenced a two-day training program on Friday for law enforcement agencies on reviewing existing laws and the promulgation and enactment of new regulations relating to adolescent girls and young women. Lamin Dawa reports.
This training aims to equip law enforcement officials with the necessary knowledge and skills to effectively identify, investigate, and respond to cases involving adolescent girls and young women in the country. Babukar Jata, the Deputy Director of the National Population Commission Secretariat NPCS, explains the significance of organizing such a training.
The members of the armed and security forces are a key component in the fight against SGBV, because most of the time when it happens, the first point of contact is usually the security. So I think it's also important that I know they are very well au fait with the laws, but it's important time to time we organize such kind of refresher trainings to help them, refresh their memories on these laws, and also remind them of their responsibilities in safeguarding the rights and dignity of the most vulnerable, most especially adolescent girls and young women.
Binta Cham is the secretary of the legal platform under the National Population Commission Secretariat.
It is important for the legal platform to go out there, sensitize vigorously as much stakeholders as possible to ensure that we mitigate or we even ban some of the SGB issues that are affecting our young girls and young women in this country. That is FGM, as well as child marriage and also rape.
Assistant Superintendent Fode Sisi from Brikama Police Station explains the likely impact this training will have on his work as the Gender and Child Welfare Officer with the Gambia Police Force.
I believe I'm going to learn new skills, and that will going to develop my career in order to fight against gender-based violence issues.
Superintendent Fatunjai from the Gambia Prison Services explains her expectations of the training program.
Not everybody can be fortunate to attend such trainings, but us that are fortunate to attend the trainings, at the end of the training, I expect each and every one of us to go out and share whatever we gather from this training here. It's very, very important.
Madam Halimatu Jallo Jesirobo from the National AIDS Secretariat and a member of the Network Against Gender-Based Violence also shares her views about the training.
So it is important so that they are also trained or sensitized to ensure that they know the forms of sexual and gender-based violence and what to do and how to support the survivors when they come to their institution, and also how to be able to navigate them to get the necessary service in a manner that they will not be re-victimized.
The National Population Commission Secretariat was established in 1997 to effectively coordinate and provide guidance to the government regarding the implementation of policies related to population matters for improved quality of life in the Gambia. For QTV News, I am Lamin Alai Fandindabo.
The mayor of Banjul, Rahim Malik Lowe, has launched a $50,000 Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund. The Bloomberg Philanthropies motto is Global Reach, Local Impact. This initiative seeks to engage youths in the city to help address growing environmental management concerns. Ansumane Isonyasi tells us more.
A public call for proposals from interested youths and youth groups across the city, the Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund, spearheaded by Mayor Lowe, will offer support to youth-led climate impact mitigation efforts in Banjul. In partnership with United Cities and local governments and Bloomberg Center for Public Innovation at Johns Hopkins University, youths of Banjul will be provided the much-needed support to contribute to the city's environmental protection drive through responsive climate action programs. Mayor Rahim Malik Lowe, in her launch statement, expressed gratitude to Bloomberg, describing them as worthy partners whose support and partnership continues to enhance her council's work and by extension transform lives within the city. And while explaining how the project will impact the lives of young people in Banjul, had some advice for the young people.
di wis waa Banjul yëpp good luck di leen wax ne lii seen bos ta yéen a ko moom.
This is your project, and so I encourage you to take ownership. I know how hardworking youths of Banjul are, because council works with most of you. This initiative has come to give you all the support you need to help our collective efforts to preserve the environment and mitigate the impact of climate change in our city. Personally, I am really grateful to Bloomberg for building my capacity through a one-year leadership training. They are also extending support to my city. This is a major development, and I hope we all take ownership.
As they now anticipate the public call for submission of proposals, the project consultant Latit Kar and Falu Garasise, project coordinator, say it is common knowledge that Banjul, like many other cities, also faces environmental challenges, adding that the Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund will help address the city's growing environment management concerns, and goes on to highlight how youths can contribute to addressing these challenges.
So these are innovative solutions, innovative funds for the youth, and by youth, they're looking at two things: youth-led and youth-supported. So it doesn't just need to be youth-led. You could have an organization that is not led by a youth, but is looking at youth solutions to certain issues.
We are acutely aware of the realities of climate change. As a small island, we are among the most vulnerable to its impacts. This initiative is not just a funding opportunity, it is a lifeline.
This $50,000 microgrant is the first phase of the project that purposely seeks to support youth climate action solutions in the form of financial and technical support from local and international experts. Bloomberg has been a strong partner of Mayor Low's Youth Empowerment Drive. This Youth Climate Action Fund was launched in April this year to provide technical assistance and funding for 100 mayors to activate tens of thousands of young people between the ages of 15 and 24 to design, produce, and govern urgent climate solutions in their cities. And Banjul is one of 100 cities among 38 countries across 6 continents to benefit from the initiative, representing over 62 million residents. Answane So Nyasi for KTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local and sports news stories. Do stay tuned.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fix internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled device. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future, tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyapus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Over 200 participants are attending the second Banjul International Surgical and Scientific Conference, which commenced on Friday at the Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center. Loliam Kamara witnessed the opening ceremony and filed this report.
This conference brings together surgeons, scientists, and medical professionals from around the world to discuss and share the latest research and advancements in surgical techniques and technologies, with a focus on improving healthcare and saving lives in developing countries. The theme for this year's conference is Improving Surgical Capacity in Developing Countries, and a sub-theme, Impact of Local Postgraduate Surgical Training on the Health Service. Dr. Abubakar Jah, chairman of the local organizing committee, while expressing gratitude to all those who supported them in making the event a success, outlined some of the activities to be expected during the event.
As part of the activities of this conference is a surgical outreach with 3 hospitals involved. EFSTH, obviously, both the Banjul and Demban units, Bansang General Hospital under the leadership of Dr. Masirending Jai. We suspect that by the end of this outreach, because after this meeting today and tomorrow, we're going to continue the outreach for another 1 week, we may be able to do up to 200 surgeries for this outreach.
Dr. Amar Al-Jafari, the Chief Medical Director of EFSTH, points out that the conference will help them to interact and learn from other health professionals in the same field to boost the sector. Professor Pierre Gomez, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, on behalf of President Barrow, Dr. Fatoumata Diba, the Deputy Director of Health Services, and Professor Herbert Robinson, the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, respectively, all expressed their pleasure and gratitude for being able to attend the event.
There's need to have more schools, more state-of-the-art laboratories, and have a component on capacity building for the staff within the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences.
We also are aware that the postgraduate medical training program, which we usually call our flagship program as a ministry, has a lot of impacts. And we are glad that the theme for this, the sub-theme for this surgical conference is on the impact of the local postgraduate surgical training on the health services.
Many of our students from the University of Gambia are participating in this event to develop their knowledge of surgery. The event will benefit from international and local expertise from the Department of Surgery at Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
Professor Benjamin T. Ogun gave the keynote address.
An expanded surgical training curriculum is required. The General Surgical Training Program, which emphasizes the principles of surgery, surgical pathology, operative surgery, research methodology, research and dissertation, medical manuscript writing, health management and ethics, basic and advanced life support, rural postings will all be key.
Among other topics, attendees will discuss surgical skills training, telemedicine, and healthcare infrastructure. For QTV News, Loliam Kamara.
As part of efforts to boost public health surveillance, the director of the RHD East at Farafenni took receipt of 5 new motorbikes donated by the World Bank. Our regional correspondent, Don Williams, witnessed the presentation and filed this report.
The health sector continues to enjoy a boost with the government's development agenda, which identifies strengthening capacity in the health sector as a priority. In line with this, the Regional Health Directorate East in Farafenni received 5 new motorbikes donated by World Bank. Mamadou Kalisa, the National Surveillance Officer who conducted the handing over, explained the purpose of the bikes during the presentation ceremony on hospital premises.
These bikes definitely will help strengthen our capacity to be able to respond to diseases on time, because it will enable frontline officers to go into the field and then conduct further investigations whenever reports of public health threats are received.
Mr. Kalisa thanked the World Bank through the Ministry of Health for helping the efforts to enhance public health surveillance in the region.
We want to extend our sincere gratitude to the World Bank through the Ministry of Health in providing such a means of mobility for our frontline officers. So 5 motorbikes are earmarked for the regional health directorate, and we will hand over these bikes to the regional health directorate.
Here is Ibu Sein, a public health surveillance officer.
Everyone have a stake in surveillance. Equipped in the regions with motorbikes to ease surveillance and response, it's a very great milestone in health service delivery. And we know very well that the region are very happy in receiving these bikes and are going to put the bikes into best practice. For that being the case, through our program coordinator and Office of the Director of Health Service, we want to encourage the region to take a very good measures of these bikes.
Abdullah Jajo, the Regional Director East, welcomed the donation of the 5 motorbikes and thanked the donors, adding that the motorbikes could not have come at a better time as a quarter of their bikes are out of service.
Surveillance, as you all know, is here to stay. I think in terms of response, also you need mobility. So these motorbikes, they are timely and they are going to be put in good use. And as a region, we're going to ensure that they are sustainable and also their maintenance also is taken care of. So on that note, once again, on behalf of the regional directorate and also the Ministry of Health, we are here to receive 5 motorbikes from EDC program unit supported by World Bank.
Public health surveillance is the ongoing systematic collection, analysis, and interpretation of data closely integrated with the timely dissemination for preventing and controlling disease and injury. Mobility is a key component in ensuring this is done to the highest standards. Don Williams, QTV News for Afeni.
From that story, we now move to sports news. The Gambia senior football team's newly appointed coach, Jonathan McKinstry, came to QTV for his first live one-on-one interview on Gambian TV. Here are some excerpts from his interview.
Of course, you're watching Q Sports on QTV, a special interview with the Scorpions head coach, Jonathan McKinstry. This is his first appearance live on television, and it's good to have him on board on QTV. What must have convinced you to apply for the Gambian job?
The football. It's as simple as that, the football. You look at the players here and they draw you towards them. Obviously the team has had success, but for me, I always look at jobs that I might do, and I look at it a bit like you're in the kitchen cooking up something. You need the right ingredients, because all ingredients have potential, but if you put the wrong ingredient into, a dish, you'll taste it and go, oh no, that's not the right ingredient. I picked up the paprika instead of the salt or something. If you put the wrong ingredients together, it doesn't work. But you put the right ingredients together, you can make something really special. And so for me, I look at jobs and I look at opportunities and I know what I can bring. I know who I am. I know how I like to play the football. I know how I interact with people. And I look at the environment and I do as much research as I can about it and say, am I the right ingredient to make that really special? I think it's the really nice thing about Gambian football is there's a lot of West African nations that rely heavily on their diaspora players. Players who are born abroad to Gambia or to African parents. Here in the Gambia, actually, we do have diaspora players, there's no doubt. But a lot of our players were born and bred and grew up through the academies and through the leagues here in the Gambia, which is a real strength, because then it's it's not just in your blood, it's in your bone marrow. Winning football is what we want. That's the first and foremost one. For me, I'm a very positive coach. I like to go forward. You'll notice there's a lot of very technical, very skillful players in the group. But I'm also a big believer that everyone attacks, everyone defends. It's not just about the goalkeeper and the centre backs to keep a clean sheet. Young lads like Bojang, like Sidibe, like Badamosi will start our defensive effort from the front of when we press, how we press. And so everyone's involved in all phases of the game. For me, I like to be further away from our goal. You know, I think if you're sitting deep, I have had to coach teams in the past to play a deeper counter-attack style because it's been what's been necessary from the situation or the players we have available. But I much prefer being on the front foot and going and engaging the opponent is how I prefer to play the game.
Now, before we end, here's a recap of the headlines. The American International University of West Africa held its 8th graduation ceremony on Saturday. The legal platform under the National Population Commission Secretariat commenced the 2-day training program on Friday for law enforcement agencies on reviewing existing laws. The mayor of Banjul, Rahim Malik Lowe, has launched a $50,000 Bloomberg Philanthropies Youth Climate Action Fund to engage youths in the city to help address growing environmental concerns. Over 200 participants are attending the second Banjul International Surgical and Scientific Conference, which commenced on Friday. In sports news, the Gambia senior football team's newly appointed coach, Jonathan McKinstry, came to QTV for his first live one-on-one interview. And another reminder that the National Population and Housing Census commenced at midnight, May 31st, 2024, and will end on June 14th, 2024. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for the Weekend Review with Ade Darami and Momo Dumbuj. This edition marks the start of sign language throughout the show. Thanks for watching.